Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. And a couple days ago, I posted a poll on my YouTube posts, and it read this: the GOAT debates are here to settle some of sports' biggest arguments. Tell us what iconic matchup should be our first deep dive to explore who stands as one of the best players ever. If there's a one I didn't include, be sure to leave a comment so I can do an episode on that. And that is still up for grabs and whatever. Leave a comment in this video as you're watching if there's a GOAT debate in another sport that I didn't include either in the poll or just not at all. Because I'll try to get an episode on that. But the options for this poll were Messi versus Ronaldo, Wayne Gretzky versus Crosby or Ovechkin. I maybe would have done both. And you guys, all of these I'm going to do eventually, okay? For basketball, it was, there's a bunch of people that I think could be the GOAT. LeBron, MJ, Curry, or someone else. So it would be looking at basically all of their players, see who changed the game the most, who's benefited from the game the most, who's been the best player, right? But the one you chose was neither of those. You chose Babe Ruth versus Shohei OHTANI, and I am super excited to dive into this with you. So, without further ado, let's go. Let's get it rolling, boys. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all you dedicated baseball fanatics out there, welcome back to Inside the Zone with Matteo. Today, we're not just talking baseball, we're diving into the very fabric of its history, challenging long-held beliefs, and perhaps, just perhaps, redefining what it truly means to be the greatest player of all time. So, get ready to have your perspectives shifted, because today we're dissecting the most fascinating, mind-bending comparison in sports. Or at least that's what I think. Shohei OHTANI versus Babe Ruth. And let me tell you, I've done my homework, I've crunched the numbers, I've looked at the eras, and I'm ready to present my case that Shohei OHTANI is no doubt the greatest player the MLB has ever seen. So let's get on. Let's go. All right. Now. I can hear all the collective gasps. The keyboard warriors are now furiously typing their dissent. Matteo, how dare you? What about the Bambino? You're disrespecting history. What about some other stars like Hank Aaron, etc., etc., etc.? And to all of that, I say hold your horses, because before we dive into why OHTANI stands at the summit, let's establish something crystal clear. My reverence to Babe Ruth is obsolete. He is a foundational pillar of this sport, a legend whose accomplishments are so monumental they almost transcend reality. But you just gotta listen to what I have for Shohei OHTANI. So let's get into this, and let's start. Let's start in the early 20th century. Imagine, if you will, you're in the early 20th century. The game of baseball was fundamentally different. The dead ball era was giving way to something new, something explosive. And at the heart of that revolution was George Herman Babe Ruth. He was more than just a player. He was a force of nature, a cultural icon who captivated a nation. His raw numbers are simply staggering, a testament to his unparalleled talent in his time. So as a hitter over the 22 seasons he played, he blasted an almost unimaginable 714 career home runs. Think about that. That's third all time, a number that seems unreachable for decades. He hit for a career 342 batting average, a mark of pure hitting genius. His 2,214 RBIs place him second all time. And that career OPS of 1.164, that's just not elite. That's not just elite, guys. It is the highest in the history of Major League Baseball. This is the stat that tells you that he was getting on base at an absurd rate and punishing the ball when he did. He stepped to the plate in 2,503 games as a pure hitter. But let's not just forget the two-way part of Ruth's early career. Before he became the game's primary slugger, he was an elite pitcher for the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees and a couple other teams. A phenomenal 94 wins against only 46 losses in his career gave him a dazzling 6.671 winning percentage. His ERA of 2.28, and he hurled 1,221.1 innings, recording 488 strikeouts. My bad, almost 500 strikeouts. He made 163 pitching appearances, and remember, in those days, pitchers often completed what they started. So, let's be absolutely clear. Babe Ruth was a colossus, a titan. His place in the pantheon of baseball's greatest is secure, undisputed. But as we transition from the golden age to the modern age, a new colossus has emerged. One that forces us to reevaluate the very definition of greatness. Enter Shohei Ohtani. He's currently in his 8th MLB season, the year 2025, and what he has accomplished and continues to accomplish is simply beyond comprehension. Let's look at his numbers, which are still growing, but already speaks volume. As a hitter, he's already smashed 260 career home runs. Think about it, in just 8 seasons. A very strong career of a .281 batting average. 634 RBIs and counting. And a dazzling career of an OPS of .951. He's played in 974 games as a hitter, often while just having pitched or preparing to pitch. And as a pitcher, what he's done is equally as stunning. He holds a strong 38 wins against 19 losses, boasting a 667 winning percentage. Sorry, all these numbers kind of throw me off of how to say these guys. Okay. By the way, that's almost identical to Babe Ruth's winning percentage. His ERA, his career ERA is slightly higher than Babe Ruth's 2.28. His is 2.97. He amassed 621 strikeouts in just 493.2 innings pitched. He's made 92 starts on the mound, often just days after hitting a massive home run. Now, on paper, if you just glance, Ruth's totals appear higher, and they should. He's played 14 more seasons than Ohtani. But those raw numbers, while impressive, are only half the story. To truly understand the magnitude of Ohtani's greatness and why I believe he eclipses even Ruth, we need to talk about context. So, let's do that. We're going to talk about the eras, because the game of baseball, the average player, and the very environment in which these men completed couldn't be more different. And this is where Ohtani's argument for GOAT status truly takes flight. So, imagine Babe Ruth's era, roughly around 1914 to 1935. It was a very different landscape. We're going to talk about a couple different categories, including hitting averages, home runs, and pitching averages. So, hitting averages. In the dead ball era, before Ruth really took off, league batting averages were often a humble 230 to 250. Think about that. Hitters weren't aiming for the fences; they were aiming for contact and signals. As the live ball era blossomed thanks to Ruth, averages did rise to 270 to 290 range, but still Ruth's 342 average was not only incredible, but much more achievable from a league's perspective than what Ohtani faces today. Home runs is the second category. This is one of the main keys. In the dead ball era, a team hitting 20 to 30 home runs in the entire season as a team was very common. A single player hitting 10 home runs was a massive power threat. Even in the height of the live ball era, a power hitter might hit 15 to 25 home runs. When Ruth hit 60 home runs in 1927, the next closest player in the American League had 22. Ruth wasn't just better, he was in a different universe. He was often hitting 4 to 8 times more home runs than the average power hitter of the day. This wasn't just dominance, it was a revolution. The next category we're going to talk about in Babe Ruth's era, and then we're going to, by the way, comparing these to the Shohei Ohtani era, the 2018 to 2025 and beyond, is pitching averages. When Ruth was pitching primarily like as a starter, and a lot more than he did, because over time he started to pitch less as he grew with age. League ERAs were remarkably low, often to the 250 to 3 range, because offenses were so suppressed. Pitchers were largely trying to induce contact, relying on control, curves, and knuckleballs, not overwhelming velocity. Strikeout rates were far lower. An average pitcher might only punch out 3 to 5 batters per 9 innings. But now, we shift to the Ohtani era. As I said, 2018 to 2025 and beyond. This is the era we are all familiar with of hyper-specialization, peak athleticism, and advanced analytics. The game is played at an intensity level that is unimaginable a century ago. So we're going to look at the hitting averages. League batting averages today hover around a meager 240 to 250. Why? So that's higher than, the average is pretty similar to the Babe Ruth era, but why are they a little bit higher? Because hitters are often optimizing for launch angle and power, trading contact for a chance at a home run. The average everyday player might hit 15 to 25 home runs, but usually that comes with a significant higher strikeout rate. Pitching averages. League average ERAs typically range from 3.8 to 3.80 to 4.50. Offenses have rebounded from the dead ball style, and the ball itself is designed to travel further. Also, strikeouts. This is a strikeout era. Pitchers are throwing harder than ever, often reaching triple digits. An average starting pitcher aims for 8 to 9 strikeouts per 9 innings, and elite arms regularly exceed 10 to 12 Ks per 9. Velocity and spin rates are also king. So, if a modern average player with 20 home runs and a 240 average, .240 average, was transported back into Ruth's 1920s, they might look like a respectable power hitter. But their average would be considered low. Conversely, if a 1920s pitcher throwing 85 to 90 miles an hour with primary curveballs and changeups were transported to 2025, they'd be shelled. The game, the athletes, the science, it's all evolved dramatically, and that's precisely why Ohtani's dominance is so mind-blowing. So, I believe we're sticking with, what Ohtani is now, kind of what we could see from Ohtani in his future. So we're going to project, based on his incredible performance so far, what Shohei Ohtani's career numbers could look like if he remains healthy and continues his elite output for a long career, let's say a little less than Babe Ruth, like 15 to 18 seasons total, which is a very successful modern career length. And then we'll see how those projected numbers stack up against Babe Ruth's actual historical totals. So, This is going to be where the magic happens. So, he already has 260 career home runs. If he maintains his prime pace of around 40 to 45 home runs per year for another 8 to 10 years, he's looking at an astounding career total of about 700 home runs. So this comparison to Babe Ruth's 714, folks, Ohtani is not just knocking on the door. He's on track to challenge and potentially even surpass Babe Ruth's 714 home runs, especially if he has a couple 50 home run seasons. Think about that, guys. A player who's also pitching at the elite level could end up as one of the top 3 to 5 home run hitters of all time. It's just simply insane. He's also likely to accumulate 1,500 to 1,800 plus RBIs. Now, Babe Ruth has had 2,214 RBIs, so while this kind of falls short of Ruth's MLB record of RBIs, Ohtani, it still places Ohtani firmly among the all-time greats in RBIs, a truly impressive feat. His career batting average would likely settle around 280 to 290 with an OPS in the 900 to 950 range. Comparison to Ruth's numbers, he has a 342 average and a 1.164 OPS. Those are excellent. These are excellent modern numbers indicating truly elite offensive input, but they likely wouldn't meet Ruth's historical averages from a different era. But that's not the point. The point is his relative dominance within his era. So Shohei might not reach to those averages, but I would argue the pitching level that Babe was facing it's a little weaker than what Ohtani's facing. Ohtani's facing guys like Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal who throw these 100-mile-an-hour fastballs where I don't know what the highest thrown. I can look it up here. The highest pitch thrown in the 1920s is about 95. So you're getting like 5 to 10 mile an hour faster pitches, and I think just the mechanics of the pitching and stuff has grown. So I would say if he has like this batting average around 290, an OPS of 950-ish, that's still fairly good, and it's really good because of you're facing better pitchers, I think, in general, and better fielding too. Ohtani's on-track pitching projections now, assuming he returns to be this, dominant pitcher, because obviously he had Tommy John surgery or elbow surgery or whatever. He's came back. They're not rushing. The Dodgers aren't rushing him. He's pitching about 3 to 4 innings a game. He's almost going to get to 6. He should be at 6 in about a month. But so yeah, this is just assuming he returns to pitch around 5 to 6 or even 7 innings a game. Yeah, just quality games, giving your team quality starts, and yeah, just playing good. So he currently has 38 wins. If he pitches another, we're going to say 5 to 7 quality seasons, even with slightly managed workloads, he's on track for 100 to 140 win seasons for a total career win total of 100 to 140 wins or even more. Babe Ruth had 94 wins. This means Ohtani is on track to comfortably surpass Babe Ruth's career pitching wins. This is a critical point too. Ruth stopped being a primary pitcher, and Ohtani is projected to pass him in wins while still hitting at an elite level. So he's doing both. Yeah, he might be more in shape, but it's something we're comparing, guys. We're comparing and contrasting. Come on. His career ERA would remain likely to remain stellar in the 290 to 330 range, comparing to Babe Ruth's 228. While Ruth's raw ERA is lower, Ohtani's projected ERA in the modern offense-heavy, home-run-prone era, where the league average ERA is over 4 runs a game, is arguably more dominant given the vastly different hitting environments. Sorry, my bad. With 621 current strikeouts and another 5 to 7 seasons of elite pitching, he could accumulate almost 1,500 strikeouts. Babe Ruth, he reached almost 500 career strikeouts at 488 strikeouts. Ohtani is on track to absolutely blow past Ruth's career strikeout total. This highlights the fundamental difference in pitching style and effectiveness across the eras. He's also on track to roughly pitch 1,550 innings. Comparison to Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth had 1,221.1 innings pitched. Ohtani could very realistically match or even slightly exceed Ruth's total innings pitched, which is nothing short of astounding for a two-way player in this modern game, where pitch counts and inning limits are meticulously managed. So this isn't just incredible, it's unprecedented. Ohtani's on track to become one of the greatest power hitters in history, period. He's also on track to surpass Babe Ruth's significant pitching totals in wins and utterly dwarf him in strikeouts, all while maintaining an elite ERA in a much tougher hitting environment. This is the essence of his unique, unparalleled greatness. So let's get even more. Let's dig deeper even more to trainings, diet, and farthest home runs. These physical realities of these players. It's going to be where the rubber meets the road on the era comparison. So first, their physical appearances, their height and weight. Babe Ruth, listed at 6'2" and around 215 pounds in his prime. In his era, Ruth was a giant. He absolutely dwarfed most of other players. He was a physically imposing force in a league of generally smaller, leaner men. His size alone gave him an advantage as well. Shohei Ohtani, listed at 6'3" and a lean, muscular 210 to 215 pounds. Ohtani is tall, yes, but his height is far more common for an elite athlete in today's MLB. He's built like a Greek god, a testament to modern athletic training, but he doesn't stand out purely by size among his peers in the way Ruth did. Every player today is a sculpted athlete. So now, athleticism and movement. In his prime, Ruth was a very good athlete for his time. He was surprisingly agile for his size, had good speed, he stole 123 bases in his career. Here's also another thing about comparison. Shohei Ohtani's stolen bases in his career. He has already 158 stolen bases, so he has already shattered that. So he already has almost 30 more stolen bases than Babe Ruth. But not to take anything away from him, he had good speed, especially for his size, and an exceptional eye. His swing was revolutionary, a huge, powerful uppercut that generated unheard of power. But Ohtani, guys, is a world-class generational athlete by any standard in any sport. He combines explosive power, elite speed, and surgical precision. He throws 100-mile-plus fastballs with devastating breaking pitches, then steps into the box and hits balls 480 feet with incredible bat speed. His ability to command multiple pitches with precise location, then shift focus to hitting high-velocity pitches requires extraordinary coordination and fine motor control honed by years of cutting-edge training. But that is where we're going to talk about this next comparison, the training, because it was very much different than it was 100 years ago. So Babe Ruth, he had this formal scientific training. Formal scientific training was virtually non-existent. The off-season was for hunting, fishing, barnstorming, and enjoying life. Ruth was famous for needing to work off the winter weight in spring training. There was no focus on specific muscle groups, recovery protocols, or adjustments based on a video. In contrast, Shohei OHTANI, his training is planned, data-driven, year-round, and we're talking about biomechanics labs, advanced systems and conditioning, specific arm care using driveline protocols, precision throwing programs, constant monitoring of his body, and detailed hitting drills to refine every aspect of his swing. Recovery is a science, physical therapy, cold and hot tubs, massage, dedicated rest. He is the product of peak athletic science. They're just very much different training. So that they had. Finally, we're going to talk about their diet and lifestyle. So, Babe Ruth is very famously known for eating hot dogs, beers, massive steaks. He also ate some of those steaks raw, fried chicken, and rich desserts. There was no concept of sports nutrition. Smoking and drinking were common and accepted, even for athletes. He often traveled with less comfort and minimal medical or dietary support. Again, contrast Shohei OHTANI, high protein for muscle repair, complex carbs for energy, healthy fats, hydration, and strategical supplementation. His lifestyle is disciplined, focused on maximizing performance and longevity. MLB teams can provide comprehensive support, team chefs, nutritionists, strength coaches, sports physiologists, and extensive medical staffs. So this is the critical piece of the puzzle, right? Ruth achieved what he did with immense natural talent in a less competitive, less scientific, informed, less informed environment. He was a physical marvel for his era, but his lifestyle, by modern standards, was far from optimized for a peak performance or long activity. OHTANI, despite benefiting from every shred of modern science, is still facing severe injuries like the Tommy John surgery that put him out for a year this past year. This highlights the true, immense, almost impossible physical toil of doing what he does in today's high-velocity, high-impact, hyper-specialized game. He's pushing the human body to do its absolute breaking point, even with all this modern advantages. And finally, let's talk about the long ball, the majestic home run, and the farthest each of these Titans hit. This really drives home the difference in eras and technology. So Babe Ruth's farthest home run. The legends are extraordinary. He was famously credited with hitting a home run that reportedly went 575 feet in Detroit in 1921. These are tales of they are tales of even longer ones. There are tales my goodness. There are tales of even longer ones pushing towards 600 feet in exhibition games. But here's the kicker. The distances from Ruth's era are not scientifically measured. They were estimations based on eyewitness accounts. How far it rolled or just pure folklore. There were no precise instruments while undoubtedly Titans blasted for their time. The modern analysts suggest the carry distance might have been closer to 450 to 500 feet in some cases, which for the time, with dead balls and less velocity was still absolutely incredible. Ruth had a brute natural strength. But with Shohei Ohtani, we have StatCast. This is an advanced technology that uses radar and cameras to track every single batted ball with incredible precision. Ohtani's longest officially measured home run in his MLB career traveled a staggering 493 feet, hit on June 30th, 2023 against the Arizona Diamondbacks at Angel Stadium. Ohtani regularly launches moonshots in the 450 to 480 foot range with exit velocities that literally break the scale, often over 115 miles an hour. This is against pitchers throwing 95 to 100 mile an hour fastballs with biting, breaking balls. So when we compared those farthest home runs, Ruth's are mythical and legendary, a testament to raw power in a game, and Ohtani's are scientifically verified, as he is hitting documented nearly 500-foot blasts against the most advanced pitching and with the most precise measurement technology in baseball history. But both are awe-inspiring. But Ohtani's power comes with digital evidence solidifying his place as an unparalleled force. Right? Yeah, I think so. So, having laid out all the facts, the context, the projections, the physical realities, the indisputed evidence, my opinion, and I say this with profound respect for each legend who has graced a baseball field, is that Shohei Ohtani is, without a shadow of doubt, the greatest baseball player MLB has ever seen. So here is a summary of my argument. Number one, he defines the modern game. Ruth's dominance was revolutionary, but it came as he transitioned to specialize. Ohtani is performing as an MVP caliber hitter and an ace level pitcher simultaneously. In his era designed to prevent exactly that. Excuse me. The game is harder, faster, more specialized, and even more analytical than ever. My goodness. And he's mastering both sides of it. Number two, while Ruth's raw hitting totals are monumental, Ohtani is on track to rival or surpass them in home runs, while also accumulating pitching stats that will surpass Ruth's career pitching totals in wins and strikeouts. He's not just great at one, he's then great at the other. He's not just great at one, then great at it. That doesn't make sense. He's not just good at one and then great at the other. He's great at both every single day. And finally, he's achieving this not just with natural talent, but by pushing the boundaries of human athleticism and leveraging every bit of cutting-edge sports science. Yet the physical toll is immense, underscoring the incredible difficulty of his two-way feet. Babe Ruth was a giant, a Goliath among men in his era. He changed the game with his bat, but Shohei is challenging the very definition of a baseball player. He is setting a new standard for what is possible, not just being great, but by being two all-time greats in one body, achieving concurrent dominance, but that no one, not even the legendary Babe Ruth, accomplished with the same sustained excellence across both disciplines. He is truly unparalleled. We are truly witnessing history unfold before our very eyes. A player who transcends the convention. My gosh. And for that, I believe he is the greatest to ever step on an MLB diamond. I'm sorry. I know people are gonna disagree. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. And I'm also sorry that I seem to be stuttering a lot, and I don't know what's going on. It is what it is. My bad, and I apologize. I'm gonna get that sorted out eventually, but that's gonna be all the time we have for this debate on Inside the Zone with Matteo. What are your thoughts? Do you agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments. And be sure to keep an eye out in the post sections of the channel to make sure you don't miss a poll or announcement. Also, if you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe if you aren't already. Truly, it does help. I'll be back next time with more deep dives into the games we all love. Until then, have a great day. God bless and peace out.